A couple of years ago, when my best friend was being treated for terminal cancer, he was rewatching the Star Wars movies with his wife for the last time. They got to the scene where Darth Vader finally takes his helmet off, and my friend turned to his wife and said, "Why do all villains look like fucking cancer patients?" He was onto something. Voldemort, Gollum, Count Orlok, Dr. Evil, even robot villains have a chronic cough. And this phenomenon is bigger than just cancer. A ridiculous percentage of movie villains appear to have some kind of sickness or disability.
Why y'all look like you seen a ghost?
Dermatologists at the University of Texas found that 6 of the American Film Institute's 10 greatest villains have skin diseases, compared with 0 of their 10 greatest heroes.
You are so beautiful, my Baron.
Why are so many villains sickly or disabled? Most movies take place in an idealized world. Hollywood actors tend to conform to an ideal. They're more able-bodied and have fewer blemishes and abnormalities. So when you see an abnormality on screen, it stands out.
Abby who? Abby normal.
And when something in a movie stands out, the conventional thinking is that it has to mean something. It's the same thing with on-screen pregnancies. You don't just randomly see pregnant people in movies like you do in real life. If somebody's pregnant, that's either relevant to their character or the plot.
I'm gonna be a mama too.
Same thing with illness and disability. But why do they so often signify the sinister? It's different in different movies, but it often boils down to one or a combination of these reasons. 1. Humans have long equated goodness with physical attractiveness. The word beautiful shares a common root with the Latin word for good, bonus. In most societies, what's beautiful is what they consider normal and healthy, and generally speaking, what's ugly is what they consider sick or abnormal. So if normal equals beautiful equals good, then abnormal equals ugly equals bad, especially in the idealized world of Hollywood.
Wanna suck the face?
No.
2. Able-bodied people often assume that people with disabilities or illness must be bitter about their condition, even though psychological studies have shown otherwise. Movies use this narrative of bitterness and alienation as the backstory for many disabled or sick villains who take out their anger on the rest of the world.
You call me Mr. Glass.
Faced with terminal cancer, Saw's jigsaw killer finds meaning in life by testing other people's will to live.
Those who don't appreciate life do not deserve life.
3. Many religious traditions view sickness and disability as a punishment for sin. Like with the lepers in the Bible.
Arms for the leper! Arms for an ex-leper!
At the time, it may have been an explanation for why bad things happen to good people. But the trope of disability as punishment carried over into secular storytelling. It's particularly evident in characters who get corrupted over time. Disease and disfigurement are convenient ways of externally portraying that process. 4. For many viewers, a disability or illness makes the villain scarier, because able-bodied people fear the possibility of one day being sick or having a disability. Seeing such a person can remind them of this fear. But that doesn't mean we can't learn to overcome it. In fact, one place to start is by having fewer villains who, in the words of my friend, look like, quote, cancer patients.
Would you like to see my mask?
And thanks in part to the rise of disability activism, Hollywood is starting to distribute sickness and disability a little more randomly and therefore realistically. The paraplegic hero in Avatar is a step forward, as is Walter Jr. in Breaking Bad, who just happens to have cerebral palsy. You know, because in real life, if you have a disability, that doesn't mean you're good or evil. As for his villainous father, he was still literally a cancer patient.
To hell with your cancer.